I think going into 2 on that section is a really good idea. The problem in this piece is always finding a common ground that works well with the choir and works well with the pianist. Like, you just can't take it as fast as you want because there are certain kind of realities at play in the piano, right? And even if the pianist can play at a tempo you want to do it doesn't mean it'll sound good, right? I mean, if it just sounds like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that 2 pattern gave the choir we sang it really well for you. People felt really comfortable singing. You got really good singing, and he played it really well. So and you weren't ready for the più allegro.
That threw me off a little bit.
But he was. So, but you see, if you go too fast on that part before it, then when you get to the più allegro, you can't do it. And he had a little bit left. So I think you kind of nailed it, even if you didn't really conduct the più allegro and he played it anyway. Now that you kind of know about it, I think that in your second conducting attempt, you're going to want to add a few dynamics to it, right? And so let's just work for just a minute right at the beginning on kind of the articulation. Now remember, when any of you conduct in the classical period, the thing that you're asking is, what are the articulations that are happening? It is one of the key ingredients of classical singing is that we make articulations in a way that we don't in the Romantic period, right? And so at the beginning, what do you think our articulations are like in the choir?
I want them to be marcato.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe staccato with a dot, or right? Yeah. So what does marcato gesture look like? Has an accent and then what? The definition of a marcato is an accent and then what happens?
Decay.
Yeah, it has to decay, right? If you don't decay, it's just loud. Right? So we want it to sound like hallelujah, but you don't want it to be staccato. It's not hallelujah, right? Hallelujah. So you're looking for about that much with a real, so you're going to go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you don't come down too early. Everybody go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Very similar to Confutatis. 4, which is also marcato. 1, 2, 3, hallelujah. Try it. Here we go. That's really good. Right when we come in, right on the ears. Hallelujah. 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 Nice. I like it. So, can you come down later?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Watch this. And hallelujah. Hallelujah. Notice I continue to move a little bit. I show the decay, but I don't want him to go like this. And hallelujah. I want him to hallelujah. That maestoso, majestic quality is that we continue to sing with a lot of decay. And you'll never be able to teach it as well as you can conduct it. Mm-hmm. Right? You can talk about it. You can say, you know what I mean? But mostly people just want to be able to see what you're doing and follow it. Try it again. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. See, that's super clear, isn't it? A, you know when to sing. B, you know exactly how hard to hit the note. C, did I say C? So third, you know how to decay, right? Like you can never teach that articulation as well by talking about it as you can by that. That's really good. Well done. And in general, it was very clear and very clean. We always knew when to sing. Good job. 1, 2, 3.
Allison, do you want to go? I was supposed to go.
Are we out of order?
4 people today?
Yeah.
Oh.
We have 4 today. Oh yeah, Lacrimosa is supposed to follow Confutatis.
Oh.
Isn't it amazing? Music gets more complex in the classical period. I mean, not more complex music, but more complex conducting. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Bach is complex. Not to suggest. In fact, it's simpler.
Keep the time to do a couple minutes. You're
Right.
fired.
Yeah. Teaching not so much. Oh, that's nice. This presents an entirely different problem. Just for fun, do you have the Confutatis before this?
No, but I can put it there.
So it's an F major and then an E. So it goes like this. It goes an F major and then an E, like 7, I think. No, that is C sharp, A, G, E. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes. They're connected. Try it again for the sopranos. Yeah, no, it's okay. They got off to a bad start. I bet they'll do better.
One bar.
Oh, sure.
One, two, three. It's a really amazing conducting. We didn't actually sing it all that great for you, but we'll get better. It's okay. Something I want to draw attention to, the last two measures, the Amen, this is the end of the Dies Irae section. And so the last movement as part of the Dies Irae. This is highly unusual. These last two measures are proof that Mozart didn't write this. Mozart would have written a 32-bar fugue on Amen at this point. Mozart students said profanity would be such a great moment right here. They would have said, F this S. I'm not going there. Everybody's going to know it's not Mozart. Like to write just a 2-bar was a white flag of compositional. I'm not Mozart. It's a very funny moment for musicologists because it was totally out of standard. They just knew they couldn't write a Mozart fugue.
Salieri finished it, right?
No,
Other
but
people.
probably. Who knows who finished this particular movement? It would have been quite a few different people. Daniel really was in control of the dotted quarter note really well.
That's what I want.
Look where he's coming down on the beat. He's controlling this and making it legato. Lacrimosa diesi. Otherwise, you don't get the legato that he got. Let's try it right at the beginning.
Are you looking for anything specific or just
I just want them to see you do it again.
so?
Yeah, sing. Everybody sing qua resurget right there for me. And you understand? You see how you control the length of that eighth note?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to teach it. All you have to conduct it. And then if you have any students that are so clueless that they're not able to follow conducting, you stop and you say, eighth note, right? Start right there in the qua. Such fun writing, right? I mean, just holy cow.
I tried doing that like gesture.
And Mozart, by the way, did write some of this. He at least wrote like the first 8 bars of this movement. And then the rest of it was probably finished.
So on quad.
And then what do you have to go? You have to have piano, right? So you go from this forte to what it says triple pianissimo. There's the high. Mozart didn't write triple pianissimo, but he probably wrote piano. So I apologize for CPU. What's that?
Was sotto voce a thing? Because I mean,
He would have written sotto voce. Sotto voce was a very much
which is there.
But the whole triple P that didn't happen until Verdi. So put that hand. It's definitely a subito. Okay, go from judicardus.
I was debating whether we should hit piano on us before and then backing off even more.
I don't think so. I think it's a subito.
Okay.
I think the only decrescendo you want is text accent.
Okay. Right. So on both.
Judicandus.
Okay.
Nice. Well done. I have to move on. 1, 2, 3.
Watch your guys get major still repeat.
Hey guys, we're gonna be Gloria. Hopefully.
Which one are we on?
Gloria.
Oh, the Gloria.
I was like, I know this song really well. I was like,
Okay,
oh,
quick-
wait, that's
quick
because
transition for
I
Allison.
when I did it.
Deo, Gloria in excelsis, Gloria in excelsis, in excelsis Deo. Gloria, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Laudamus Te, benedicimus Te, adoramus Te. Glorificamus Te, glorificamus, glorificamus Te, glorificamus Te, glorificamus, glorificamus Te, glorificamus Te, glorificamus Te. Connect those last two bars, starting from 65. That was a really good job, Allison. Very expressive.
Just the piano?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch this. 2, 3. I can control his articulation.
Okay.
Yeah. Not so much rebound on that, because you want to bum, 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 bum. Leopold Mozart said in the classical period, all notes were given half their duration, not length. But length of sound, not length in time, right? I mean, you don't do the piece twice as fast. Just, it always strikes me as confusing. It should be sounded half their duration unless otherwise notated. Isn't that a fascinating concept? I think this is very clearly a bum, 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 bum.
Okay.
We're going to try that last two bars. Nice. I love that you go back and forth between 2 and 4. I think sometimes you could stay in 2.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that way? You might get some text accent benefits from staying in 2 a couple times. Go 2, like one spot you went back into 4, and I want you to explore whether maybe, go to 35, page 7. So do this in 4, starting at 35. Should we get into it or just start right at 35? Yeah, let's just start right at 35. And we don't make him turn the page. Laudamus Te, benedicimus Te, adoramus. Yeah, you're in 2 there. Now do it in 2, starting at 35. Laudamus Te, benedicimus Te, yeah. Go back and do it in 4. Listen, now listen to that. And what you're listening for is the quality of the singing on those individual syllables, okay? Laudamus Te. Now do it in 2. Laudamus Te. Do it in 4. Laudamus Te. So it's different. What do you think?
They're separating their syllables more when I do it in 4.
So the question is what do you want it to sound like? Do you want it to sound like this? Everybody Laudamus Te and Laudamus Te. Or would you like it to sound like this? And Laudamus Te.
I want it to sound like the word is cohesive, so we're not singing 4 different syllables, but I didn't like how smooth it was.
Okay. Okay. 1 and 2 and Laudamus Te.
Yeah.
So I can definitely change I can change the rebound of my gesture to impact that, right? I think almost the entire way through, I think you're better off on text accent, because what happens is you just, no matter how hard you force your singers to practice it, I'll say, no, the accent is on da, not te. Here we go. 3, 4. La, da, mus, te. It's just really hard, right? But I can get it the very first second like, and la, da, mus, te. Right? So that is all text accent and articulation. We saw lots of people experiment with 2 or 4, right? We saw really good control of duration from Daniel. We saw a really wonderful idea of going into Tu Invoco Me, which whether or not you understood that or not at the time, because you were probably thinking about the piece, caught the drama of the fight between the demons and Confutati and the angels of Voca Me. Call on me. I'll save you. I'll save you. Voca Me. Call on me. Right? It's no Confutatis. So you understand the Confutatis goes directly into the lacrimo. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful transition. Even if Mozart didn't write most of it, we still love it. Well, we're out of time. Thanks, guys.
Amen.
What do you mean with?
Oh, Allison, let's do a forward and up clap. 1, 2, 3.
I like that one.
What do you mean with the Leopold?
Leopold made a comment. He wrote a treatise, a very important treatise on performance practice in the late Baroque and the beginning of the classical period. And he basically said that all notes, unless otherwise noted, should be sounded half the duration of their written value.
Period and sentence, all instruments, voice.
I don't think that people at that time period saw that there was a difference between.
Hey, Michael.
Oh, we get
That's
shirts?
cool. It's a medium. Is that gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I usually wear a large, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah,
wear this for
I
my
must
picture.
Well, there's
I
a
must
reason
have
why I
messaged
use him these 4
after we
ways.
had ordered them
That's
because
okay.
we guessed a medium.
Articulation.
And I was like, oh no, he's a
and
large.
control
It's
of
okay.
rebound.
It'll fit.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah.
But the pictures are all black, right?
Yeah, pictures are all black. So
Because
this you can just wear whenever you want to.
In the Romantic period, even though we occasionally do things with that from an expressive point of view, it's a one-off. You know, as opposed to it's not consistent. The big thing in the Romantic period is going to be tempo alteration. And that's the beginning of sprinting. So right now it's all about attack and control of the rebound, which shows the quality of the note from the beginning of the attack through the end of the sound. And we don't assume that you just start singing and keep singing. Something happens once you start to sing that is unique and specific to that music. Does that make sense?
I was listening to the second half of that, so.
That this 4 weeks is all about the attack and the rebound and what that means in the sound. And we don't assume that the sound we make is always legato. We don't assume that it's always one note you continue to sing until the next note happens. Something happens in that. And what can we show with our gesture
Okay.
to make that happen?
So if I do the small accents like I did at the end of that